Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Méchet for episode number 18, where we're in October still, and what we're doing is, I suppose you call it field maintenance. We weeds in our winter wheat up beside the snail farm because of course it was direct drilled, so that's the downside of the direct drilling and not ploughing. We're going to get weeds. We have quite a bit of work still to do in this month. We finished up our silage, maize and some of our grass work. We still have to collect, we still have to make hay in the sheep pen, the goat pen I should say. It's a sheep pen but it has goats in it, where we cut the grass but we didn't make the hay there yet. That still has to be done and baled up, and we have to cut the other one where the Shirleys are, and we've got to bale that up as well. So we're going to make hay out of that as well, because we're going to have enough silage in the bunker, I think, to do us to make TMR to feed the cattle anyway. So I think we're going to be okay for feed in that. What else we got to do? We got to plough our 2 silage maize fields. We've got plenty of work to do. When you think of it, we're not going to be short on work. Now, I came up here without loading this completely, and I'm beginning to wonder now, do I have enough spray in it? I probably don't, because we don't have the pulse width modulation on it, so of course it's going to just spray everything, which is using up more. We couldn't afford it at the time when we were starting out, but we'll see how we get on. We might have enough to get through. So yeah, we're going to have to sort out the livestock, decide, are we going to move the Vosges cattle into the fattening barn, or what are we going to do? They do produce milk eventually, but not quite yet. I just kind of want to get all the milk producing cows into the one place now. I would ideally like to have just one breed in one pasture. As it is, we have 2 breeds already in the milking barn, so we're kind of, what would you call it, we're kind of not getting the full benefits of the space we have there just for, say, one breed to see how they're doing. I'd like to sort it out, but as I said, I had highlighted, I'm going to have to go and get some spray and bring it up here in the back of, we're going to run out now in a second, so let's knock that off. Let's knock the tractor off and let's go get our everything moves around. Let's go get it. Do we have spray on the farm? I cannot remember. If I did, it's over here. We do have one. Now, what's in it? There should be enough in it to do. I don't know why I didn't load this up. 800 litres, liftable pallet, but we'll load it anyway this way. There you go. And of course it took the bale wrap, or the wrap as well. I'll go and say this is probably not a liftable pallet. And it's gone back in again. There's it gone. It's gone up on top of there. Okay. Behave. Get out. Stay on my truck. There you go. You stay there for now. Anyway. Yeah. We've quite a bit to sort out. The animals kind of have me all over the place because we've got a mix in the cow barn there. And I kind of wanted to have them separate. I did say I wasn't going to put down that big cow barn in the field behind us there. We don't own it yet anyway. But I'm kind of toying with the idea of putting down something smaller that maybe holds 100. But once we can store milk, that's all I want to do, be able to store milk. And put this on 60 kilometers an hour, otherwise I'm going to crash. I'm not saying I won't crash at 60, but there's less chance. Yeah, just to deal with them a little bit better, because any of the pastures, they don't have milk collection on them. They're not built into them where you can't. I don't think you can put a tank down and collect milk. You know what, maybe I'll experiment and try it and see, can we do that? Will we get milk from it if we place a milk tank in it? So maybe that's something to find out going forward on the map, to see does that work. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to get our fields that need to be ploughed. All our alfalfa has been cut. I don't know how much growth we're going to get on that before our spring crops are going in, so I'm not going to cultivate them or anything just yet. I'm going to wait and see. Is there a possibility that we could get another cut off them? I don't think so. I don't think it's like the grass where you get stage 3 and then stage 4. But we're in no rush anyway. We can get our spring crops in anyway in good time. It's not like we have too many fields that we can't deal with them. A few other bits and pieces to sort out along the way. Nothing major. We need a slurry tanker. That's the one thing I have earmarked, definitely, to get a slurry tanker, and we'll deal with the amount of slurry we have. When you check the alfalfa fields down beside us and that, they're showing okay for nitrogens, but we can still put slurry on them. I think just to get our slurry content down a bit, as you can see, I didn't collect all the bales yet, they're still on the fields. I kind of just dealing with all the other stuff first. We'll get them off the fields and we'll get them in. They're all hay. We want the hay for... They are all hay. I'm trying to remember what way we're actually doing this. I can drive on the field now. There's no... there won't be any crop destruction yet. Now, where do I need to go to actually load this up? I could have just gone in behind it. I was thinking it was the bigger tanker. Now, let's see. Can we actually load it from there? We should be able to. Yeah, grand. So we'll get this field finished and then we'll move on and see what we're going to do next. Might just, I started up the tractor. I was going to say, did I turn off the tractor? But I didn't. Turn on the sprayer now and off we go. Yeah, we've a bit to do. Winter work, really. Well, winter preps. Looking after the animals as per usual and that. So I'll get my head around exactly what needs to be done next. So we'll get the grass cut in the meadow where the charlet are and get the grass shedded into hay. I'll have to check me totals again and just see is it hay or silage we're making, or is it just grass we're doing to feed the goats we have in that pen. And just so many slight different variations on this map. The other thing too, there was an update to the map, but I didn't need a new game save because I hadn't got the grape farm. It was only for selling stuff on the grape farm, and that apparently you couldn't sell the vine fields if you bought them unless you owned the grape farm. So we haven't bought any yet, and if we buy them, I don't think we're going to be selling them in a hurry anyway. So it's not really going to affect us from that point of view. But yeah, we have this done. I'm going to get this back to the main farm, and I'm going to do a review of what needs to be done once I get the other grass field cut, and just work through it, and I'll update you as we go through the work. I've decided to offload all the total milk ration now, the mixer, into the cattle pens, I suppose you call them, or the barns on this map, on this farm, this farm. Yeah, I'm going to just unload them. Now, they did update the mixer so that making TMR is back to normal, so I could just use the bales and just stick them in and mix them up and do it that way instead of doing it in the mixer. Apparently, that's one of the things that was in the update. Now, I haven't tried it yet. But yeah, maybe we'll give that a go. Maybe we'll just try it and see. Do we get TMR? Because that was one of the issues I had, that we weren't getting TMR. So let's just try that now. Let's just see this now. Open that bale. What's in it? Now. Okay, I'm gonna have to put on super strength to do this. It won't let me lift them. Probably not. It will let me lift that. Mightn't let me lift the other one because it might be getting taken in. Drop that in there. It's a bale of silage. Grand, that's in. That's alpha silage. Maybe that won't work. Maybe that's why that wasn't getting taken in. I'll end up in trouble again. This happened to me the last time. Wasn't watching what I was putting in. They did say they simplified it. I'm just trying to see. Yeah, it's coming up as total mixed ration now. That throws a spanner in the works now again, because maybe we can go back. We need a bale of straw just to see. One bale. We got a bale of straw on its own. One small bale. And just grab one and throw it in. That's one of the things that was done. Oh, it's gone back in again. That's one of the things that was done on the update. They simplified TMR when you did have the other stuff that was in it as well. So they modified that. Obviously, there was other people were kind of giving out they were having problems with it and weren't happy, and it got back to MA7 Studios, and they decided, you know what, let's just simplify it, because it wasn't written into the actual help menu what way you had to do it, because it was showing you needed soybeans and you needed green rye. Now we're often planted a field of green rye because of it, but I don't care, because I want to do green rye anyway and see what way that works. So it doesn't bother me that is part of it now. It's kind of like, you know, right, we're going to learn about green rye. Like, give me the trigger. It wouldn't give me the trigger, and I pulled up here the first time. Then all of a sudden I got the trigger. So I don't know. No, won't do it now again. Unless it's full, is it? Which is in that? Food 17,000. No. This is what happened when I pulled up at first, and then all of a sudden the trigger just came up. Because you got the two triggers right beside each other. Let's spin around. I don't think I can get in at the other one because I think I'm parked in the way. Yeah, it normally does it when you go up alongside it. It normally gives you the trigger for the calf barn. Okay, we're just getting a little bit of a weird, not wanting to work. Let's go over to this one. There, it's working there. Okay, so it's working on the end of the... Yeah, okay, it'll work on the other one. That's what happened. I didn't get it at the start, and then I got it, so I wasn't too sure what was going on. Anyway, at least it's working again. We can make TMR by doing the bales. Might consider getting a big mixer wagon, but then that'll mean loading it up. Either way, we're going to have to load it with a bucket on the loader anyway, because we have our silage bunker. So look, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. Anyway, I'll work away getting this stuff out, get these filled up, and then I'll get the grass work done on them other fields, the pastures. I'm making hay on both of them anyway, because there's enough silage in the bunker there. We need hay. We've loads of straw. We probably have enough hay, but we will never have a shortage of hay anyway. So, and we can use that to top up the pastures, feeding stations on the pastures anyway. Just to update you, quite a bit done. We're running out of daylight today. I'm just doing this contract, the baling contract. It's right beside the farm. I'd actually taken this on before we even started any of the other work. Have a worker in there ploughing the field. He done the one over there. He mulched them as well. Well, I got the tethering and windrowing done in the two cow pastures. The one with the Charolais up there and down where the goats are. So, or the sheep are. So I'm going to just get this done, and then I'm going to get the round baler down there and get them baled up and get them collected, get them into the barn. And we're going to have plenty of other work to do anyway. It's not like we've nothing to do. I'm just curious now as to whether to even consider keeping going with the alfalfa and leaving it in the field, or whether to throw in. Let's have a look at the crop calendar. I was just checking through contracts there to see. Look at the crop calendar. Like, I mean, there is Alfalfa is only going to grow, I suppose, this month. So we could put a crop in. We put a cover crop in if we want it. We could stick in more green rye if we want it. Meadow grass, Oilseed Radish, rye, spelt, triticale, winter barley and winter wheat. Now, how many fields have we got? Let's have a look. Let's go into her. This is the best way to see what we have in the lights of fields. We're looking at the grass fields. Ignore them. They're staying as is anyway, because that's the pastures anyway. So we've just got 1, 2, 3 alfalfa fields. So we don't have as many fields as I thought we had. Okay, and we're going to leave them to do summer crops in them. Because that's what we can put into the feed mill for the snail food. Now that's why we've done the winter wheat to feed the mill, the grain mill, to make flour. And that's why we kind of done that, and we said no, we'll leave the other one then to the other ones then to make the snail food mix needs either needs spring barley, I think it's spring wheat, and sorghum, and there is another crop in that, isn't there, as well? Flour mill, that's it, isn't it? No, that's that's it. So spring wheat, oat, sorghum, and spring barley. Now, we can't plant oats on this map now, can we? No, oats on this map is in February or March. Okay, just I know that's what happens when you're playing on different maps. On Wallace Aberesca, you can plant oats at this time of the year. You can plant winter oats. That's what was kind of confusing me there. Or maybe not Wallace Aberesca, maybe on the Hamlet. That's what was confusing me there. I thought we could put oats in. Anyway, this contract won't take long to do. There's not much in it. And then I'll get the bales done down in the field, and then we'll have a look where we're going to move on, how far we're going to move on. There's going to be a little bit of cheese still to sell before we leave this month, both from the goat milk and both from the normal milk. And we got the cow fields full. You know what, I didn't do that one. Oh, I have them cut, but I have to toss it, tether it, toss it and windrow it. Okay, too many fields. Losing track. It doesn't matter because we're only in the first day of October anyway, so it's not a problem. Just missed out, and I didn't check that one. That when I came back in, I never went. I looked at all the rest, and I didn't go to that one. So we've more hay to make there anyway. So get myself more work. These pastures, they can be quite tricky to do because they're not square. They've all bends and curves, and they don't use the GPS lines at all on them because it's because the pasture, the feeder is in the middle. It gives you weird lines because it gives you a headland around that, and then with all the twists and turns and that, I literally just start on the edge and just work my way in, and then you're doing a little bit of crisscrossing and that, just going back around. And the best thing is just to take it steady, just keep going around, and that's it. It's the easiest way really to get through it. You can see all the goats in here now. There's plenty of them, and they're running around like mad things. So we'll have loads and loads and loads of hay now once this is done. Just going to run up here and lift it and then reverse back. But we do need lots of feed. That's the thing. Across all the animals, and it is going to be fairly busy doing feed since we decided we're going to really ramp up the animals on the map. But I don't mind. I'm going to do more silage maize again. I'll have a look now when we get the green rye, because we don't need that now to go into the mix. We'll bale that up. I want to see, can you bale that up? Does it actually I know you can cut it for chaff, so maybe we should, what I'm thinking of is we're not going to use up all of the silage in the bunker now. Then where are we going to put the green rye if we're not going to use up all the silage in the bunker? We can't put it in on top of it. We're not going to put down another bunker. Do we put down a silo that will hold it and take the silage out of the bunker and put it in I don't really want to do that either, because that's double handling it then. Granted, you could come along and put it somewhere near there, you put a conveyor to unload it into it, but no, it's just giving us a bit of a challenge, just giving us a bit of a challenge to work out these things on the map and work out what way we're going to do them. More than likely just settle on one particular feed source, say silage maize, say maybe even green rye, and you grow your green rye and you put that in the bunker. There's always a possibility of putting down a second bunker if we're big enough, having like two. Oh, the ploughing's done. I had a worker doing a fairly decent ploughing contract that was near enough to the farm. When he was finished doing our own fields, I just took the tractor up there to feed. Just left them doing it and make money while we're spending money. I'm kind of looking forward to doing that from the sense of just running the feed. What would you say? Working out the best way to run the feeds, and if we're going to use different crops to make the chaff for that, ideally if you had a 3-bay silage bunker, not the one that's integrated within the shed. If you had a 3-bay silage bunker now, you could really do something different. You really could. But putting a worker on, I don't want a worker. Get out of my tractor. What it's actually done is it's given me ideas for another series. It's given me ideas for something I'm working on for down the road. Wallace Aberesca is going to progress really, really quickly now. When the latest episode I recorded is coming out now, probably a week after this, and you kind of hit that critical point where the money's just flowing, really is. And you do that on every series, even on Hard Economy, and you just get to the point where you have your fields and you have your crops and you have your plan, and everything kind of just comes together. And it's happened on so many series when I was doing them, whether it was when I was recording before or whether it's even just playing Let's Plays offline, even when I was doing Kinleg. But I was doing carpentry work and forestry work in Kinleg, which is why I won't do it here, because I'd actually got 18 million in the bank at one stage, and I actually dumped it all, zeroed it back to about 500,000, and shut down the forestry work and just kept working away then on other things. That's why I'm reluctant on this map to get involved in doing any forestry, even on the challenges I'm doing. I don't really want to do forestry. It is it's a license to print money, to be honest. So we're going to work out a strategy for the feed on this. That's why I'm kind of looking at where the different fields are located that hold the cattle, and that I'm wondering, is there possibilities to build out another farm somewhere else and do it slightly different? I haven't really looked around the map. I hate kind of destroying fields if they look as good as they do on this map. There's no other farm really you can sort of pull apart and rebuild. except the snail farm. To be honest with you, it has crossed my mind because, yeah, I'm enjoying it, but it's automated now. Apart from delivering the limestone and the wheat and the barley and the sorghum and that to make the food, everything else on it is automated. So it's kind of, it runs itself, and I just wanted to try it. I read on somebody else's, someone else that's on the map and put a question out about buying the snail farm. I think it was Crusto. And somebody said, oh, the snails, it's gimmicky. It's not actually gimmicky. It's something different than what we've been given by Giant. It's something that the modders came up with that you can call it gimmicky if you want, if that's the way you feel about it. Yeah, fair enough, you're entitled to your opinion. But when you do actually give it a go and you try it out, it is a nice change just to try something else. And granted, yeah, I like at the point I'm at with it now, it is kind of like just, right, do I need to go and get more limestone and deliver it up? That's kind of where you are. And from that point of view, it is a little bit, what would you say? Yeah, well, one way of describing it, it's done. With me, it's done. Apart from growing the crops, putting them in, and that the only other thing I need to do is put down a second greenhouse, because I can't believe the lettuce can't keep up. It runs out. It seemed to be okay, and then all of a sudden it was running out. I don't know why. Like, it was going for ages and it was okay, and then I just started getting messages because of the production control thing I have in that lets me know if something's run out. It was coming up to let me know that the greenhouse, snail house, whatever you want to call it, blah blah blah, number this, that and the other, shut down, out of lettuce, things like that. So I was kind of going, well, why was it okay, and then all of a sudden it's not okay? So I was thinking of just sticking in another greenhouse up there just to get rid of that warning coming up. It's not going to be sold or anything like that. It's literally just going to distribute into the snail houses, that's all. Anyway, yeah, I suppose you could, in a way, you could call it gimmicky if you're not really into all the elements that have to go into it to get it up and running. And I'm sure when they do the grapes, they'll find that there's elements in the grapes that I haven't crossed yet to do the different types of grapes, and it might be something along the same lines. But I have to say, I just have a lot of respect for the modders to come up with something like different than what we've been dealing with since Farmer Simulator came out. And the same with the additional crops and things like that. Even across, when you get some of the additional crops, depending on the map it's on, you harvest them with different equipment, and it's nice to just have to try things. And I kind of wanted to figure out what way they were trying to do the TMR here, but that's not going to happen now because I updated the map and it no longer requires the 6 elements. Although somebody did say to me they were doing it with 2 or 3 elements when I couldn't get it to work in the feed mixer, or the forage mixer, whatever you want to call it. I couldn't get it to work. I tried everything. I tried the 4 base ones we're normally used to using, and it wouldn't work at all. So unless it was just that mixer, but I assumed that they were using the same one. They probably started with the same equipment I started with. Anyway, that's done. Truck is still in the field, ploughing's finished. I'm trying to get back to my baler, and I'm going to go in here and get these bales done. Finished the bale and had to move forward to the next day, and we've 35 bales we got in total across all the 3 paddocks. This one's full, absolutely full of sheep. I thought, should I buy another one or should I? No, I'll just stick with what I have. I get these bales off the field. I was thinking of actually buying this one down here, if I can find it. I still can't find. There is actually 10 Charolais in this one. Not paddock, 64,000. Here's the sheep one, this one here. That's the last of the sheep ones. 25,000 and it holds how many? Not sure. Grass has been cut here. Where is our trigger? That it up there? That's it up there. Nope. It's the back of it. Where's the gate? Trigger's at the gate. Gate has to be here somewhere. There's the gate. Oh yeah, trigger won't come up on Leona. Okay. What does this one hold? Does it tell you? It doesn't know. 113. 113. Hold on. I have my list. I've done my research on all of these. 113 holds 73. 112, which is the cow pasture beside us there, that holds 182. But we're okay. We don't need to be taken on anymore. We have enough. Now, what are we going to do? We'll get this back first anyway. Get it washed up and that. We'll get the bales off the field and we'll have a look at what we're going to proceed with next. Probably check the time saving stock check. When is wool at its best? What's the wool we have worth? The wool we have worth is worth about 12,800. Now, at the peak, it's worth another 7,000. So, we need to find a home for it rather than leaving it down on the field. I think I already have some up in the bale storage. I have, yeah, it's up in the bale storage shed. I moved it up already. I'm gonna pick out a couple of more contracts just to let a worker work away. Now he's only done 3. There's a 2. I haven't done many because I've just been too busy, and then I realise when I finish that it's finished and then I move it on. So it just took a bit of time just to get all of that. The last field cut and then them all tethered and windrowed up and done. I need to check now just on the way past this field here. Do I need to put fertiliser on it? I need lime on it. Okay. We need lime, but we're going to get slurry on it, so that's okay from that point of view. I think we need to decide if I'm going to put cover crop in on the other fields because they're not going to be alfalfa next year. So I think I need to decide because you have to have it in for November to get paid the bonus. Yeah. How are we doing for diesel? We need diesel. And we're down to 1,000 litres in it. Okay, I'll get sorted out. I'll bring you back in then. I'm going to get the bales off the field first anyway. Okay, all the bales in, everything. I'm just going to knock out a couple of contracts because they're both here beside us. This is between my 2 fields. We'll probably end up buying this field anyway. This was the other field that had silage maize in it, or actually a corn in the same thing more or less. But yeah, we need to get a stone picker. I'm not going to get it just yet. Now there is a couple of contracts there, so I lease one and do a couple of stone picking contracts, even one to pay for the cost of it, and then do our own 2 fields. They're the only 2 fields we need to plough anyway. Still haven't decided, am I going to put Oilseed Radish in? We've only got 3 fields, you know. Probably will stick Oilseed Radish in on them, and these 2 as well, so that'd be 5 fields. Just get in, get the fertilisation state of it. Might as well. Now granted I'll have to do the stone picking before I do that, but what is there in the line of stone picking contracts? Let's have a look. I don't think I went down that far in the last while. Weeding, we've gone too far. Grass tethering. Oh, 7. That's the field next to the one we ploughed. We ploughed 9. 23 is nearly beside us as well. So, yeah, it would make our worth our while. We'll just lease. We definitely haven't got a stone picker, sure we don't. Haven't bought one yet. Let's check the garage menu just in case. Wouldn't be the first time. Nope, we ain't got one. And then the second-hand market? I don't think so. Nothing there. I'm looking at that truck. That truck is actually quite handy. And that's a decent enough price on it. Because you can do it either with a cover on it or with it off. Handy for transporting limestone. If you've seen the other videos, me turning the truck over nearly, and I have to only load it 2 rows high, otherwise it will turn over. Oh, look at that. Anyway, yeah, no, I'm not going to blow the money on that much and all. It's tempting to buy that truck. We could get a different trailer to pull on the tractor if we're going to stack. Do we have... We don't have a flatbed trailer, do we? See, this is what I hate about playing across a couple of different maps and different series. You forget what you have. Low loaders. Oh, we do. Yeah. We have that. That's okay. Good job I checked. We can use that when we go to get our limestone if we're going to really top it off. Because loading up the van is kind of very sketchy when you're trying to drive up to the snail production with it. So yeah, what I'm going to just knock these 2 contracts out. The other field is just over beyond the hedge over there. You go up the road to it. Just going to knock these out, cover off the costs of the lease on this cultivator. There'll be a lot more work for it next month. And then we'll probably lease a stone picker, then get those fields done, and then stick Oilseed Radish into the 2 alfalfa fields down here. The other one that's alfalfa up at the sheep farm is still going to stay, and leave that as alfalfa again. But we'll have 4 fields to get Oilseed Radish into, so we get a fertilisation state from them. So I might as well take advantage of that, and we'll get a little bit of a bonus. When I say a little bit of a bonus, not what I'm talking about from precision farming for doing it, but you get something anyway, and then it'll take less fertiliser when we put a crop in anyway to reach the fertilisation state. So I suppose that's the bonus you get. Them 2 contracts complete, and what are we going to do next? Well, we consult the list. That's the best thing to do. And the last thing I have on my list is a slurry tanker. So I was just having a quick look before I brought you back in. This was the one, I think it was this one that was in the second-hand market. What's the difference? 20... No, it was that one. That was in the second-hand market, and we were right on the edge with the horsepower. Now I don't know how much it was costing, but maybe it was even bigger because it had. I looked at the prices and I went, "Oh, sure, I can get one in the second-hand market at a better price." What is the difference? Like, what's the working width on that? Does it give it? It doesn't know. What's the back of it like? Yeah, it's slightly different. Okay. Oh, you probably need to attach, what you call it to it. Okay, right. Where are we gone? There's too many. Give me a choice. This is the one I kind of had a look at. Configuration, standard stainless steel. I don't like the stainless steel. It's not, Poland design. What's the difference? Oh. I think it looks better with that. What's that do? Oh yeah, gets rid of that 20 square meters. And main colour, what's that, the tank? Oh, it's the chassis. Ah, I think that actually looks better. Okay, we're going to need it, might as well buy it. There's no point in messing about. I didn't collect them contracts, so how much were they worth? Not a lot really. 4 and 3. It's less than 7 grand, or less than 8,000 for the two of them. Let's collect it. It's better than nothing. Okay, we'll go down and get our slurry spreader. Now, the only field I'm going to spread at the moment is our grass field down here, because the other ones are going to get oilseed radish into them, so that doesn't really matter. We can put the slurry on them anyway. There's oilseed radish going to go into that field. And where was other alfalfa field? 26. And it's all the way up at, yeah, it's all the way up at the other. Oh, that's going to be a haul now, hauling slurry up and back from there. Okay. I don't think we'll have enough in 20 square meters, or 20,000 litres. Anyway, I'll get down and get this, get it back up, and we'll see how it fills up from the cow barn, and we'll get our grass field done with it anyway, and then we'll know where we stand for the rest of the fields. And maybe, as I said, I'll need to get the stone picker and get the stone picking done on our 2 fields we just ploughed, and get oilseed radish in before we get to the end of the month, because it needs to be in for November. We can't put it in November. It needs to be in. Let's see how big this is. I'm on the wrong side of the road. No point me dropping you out while I'm all the way down here. I still didn't bring the bale wrap back up. Yeah, that's okay. I'm glad I went with the red. If it was all green, it would just look too... yeah, it would just look... Yeah, no, I'm glad I went with the red on the bottom. Right, I'll get back up to the farm and get it loaded up. We'll see how it loads up, and we'll get out into that grass field and get some slurry on the field. I'm almost certain that the slurry point is just back here. And the corner... Let's see. Slowly. Oh, I hate when you got a steering axle on it. It turns so much sharper. It is handy for getting in at times, but there's so much decoration around. Right, let's see. Slurry. There you go. We found it the first time. Wasn't too sure where it was. Yeah, 20,000 litres. A pallet truck is in the way. Okay. I'm going to test the tractor out, see how it does. Sorry, I just had to kill the recording there for a second. Somebody came in. Now, let's see. Okay, there we go. Let's fire her up and let's see how she does. What's the working speed? 10 kilometers an hour? Yeah, it seems to be. There you go, it's gone on anyway. Just we're going to have a lot of slurry, so we need... I know we could get a dribble bar one, or drizzle bar, whatever you want to call it. We will when we have more money. We might upgrade and get something a lot fancier. Like, I mean, there is some lovely ones with the lights of this. It'd be nice to try it, but that's only 12 square meter or 12 cubic meters. Like, we could go all out, get a mad big one. You need 300 horsepower. Like, go even bigger, 350 horsepower. Like, oh no, I took the red tape mod out, didn't I? I did, yeah, because of the water courses on this map. I took it out. I was going to say, red tape is going to crucify me spreading slurry in October, and even for spreading beside the stream, it's going to crucify me, but I took it out because there's so many water courses on this map that it was just going to be an absolute nightmare for fertilising your fields, not just with slurry, but for, in general, fertilising them. Now, if the crop sensor's turned on, does it make any difference? Where are we? It's not on. I just want to check. Was it on? It's not on. You can see the marks on the ground. It's still going down, so it doesn't make any difference. I think the crop sensor. But like, even if we get this field done with one tank, at least we know it's decent enough for capacity. And that's what I was looking for now. I know it could have got bigger, as I said, but it would have cost us a lot more money. And when down the road we have more money, well, then we can consider doing that. Is he thinking if he had to check the time saving stock check, we probably have loads of money anyway. Yeah, 600,000. Where's most of it? Snails? Cooked snails. 188,000 cooked snails. Yeah. Yeah, happy enough we've another piece of what I suppose you could call pretty essential equipment on a dairy farm, a cattle farm, where you're going to have slurry that you can utilise it. And like, for a long time in FS25, when I started playing it, I didn't use manure slurry at all. I just left it and just ignored it. And then, of course, when I used it and realised the value of it, that it was going to save you money, and like, even with precision farming now, if you go over it with your fertilizer in your seeder, it will, with precision farming, it'll only put down whatever is required additionally on top of it. So it is going to save you money in the long run. And kind of like, what I like about it is you're doing an aspect of farming the way it would be in real life anyway. They would be putting out slurry. What always amazes me is, why is that section that we just went over not red, or not gone yellow, the one we just done? I think it's because we went into the other field. It's not going to make any difference now. No, won't. And I presume you can put down the double application at a later date. Now, I'm going to be really bold because I have this in here. I'm going to actually do this field as well, because we're going to put Oilseed Radish in here anyway. But I know it'll add to the yeah, it's just barely having an effect because this is so low. The alfalfa as opposed to the grass. Okay, let me get this done, and I'm going to grab the seeder and I'm going to get alfalfa, or get Oilseed Radish in this field. I would be able to direct drill it in. I know it looks like a grass field, but yeah, be able to direct drill it in. At least we get rid of some of the slurry out of the cow barn. We lower it down because we were in 109,000 litres, so even another load now, another load and a half, we'll have taken 50,000 litres out of it. Another cultivation contract right beside the farm. I just sent the feed off on it. Let them do that. I still have the Amazon cultivator, so I just moved the trailer out of the way, the manure trailer. I did fill it up again. I got that field done. We're going to just make a start on this Oilseed Radish on that field now. Now, what I have to do, I still have 3 fields to do even when this is done. We don't need solid fertilizer, we don't need much seed. Let's change for Oilseed Radish. Go slow because I always go flying past it. Here we go. Wasn't looking in front of me. I was looking at the cedar. So, I got it done anyway. The first coat down there. I presume I could go over that with our what do you call it? Our manure. And I will put a second layer down. Okay, turn it on. We're dropped down there. We are. Let's get a few lines on. This should do. Yeah, will. I don't know why I was a bit worried that it wouldn't go over it, because it looks like grass, you see. You're kind of thinking looks like meadow grass that's being cut. Yeah, I'm just trying to get this without going into the other field. And I did actually go into the other field ever so slightly. But we've the two fields you have to do the stone picking on them. There's a few stone picking contracts there, so that'll cover the cost of leasing the stone picker. We'll have to do the other field up at the top beside the snail farm. We're going to do Oilseed Radish in that as well, and them two fields, so that'll be 3 more fields to be done and prepared for the winter, and I'm sure there's more stuff to be done. So what we're going to do is we're going to end this episode with a little bit of this field, and instead of jumping through, I will bring you back when I'm doing some of the other field prep work. Possibly going to put down that greenhouse up at the stale farm. Now the warning has not come up this time. I don't know why it comes up sometimes. Just gives me a warning that the greenhouses have stopped because they're out of lettuce. And then it doesn't come up. So I can't see any reason why. Unless, no, and they didn't run out of water, because I did check them the minute that happened. The minute it came up a warning about no lettuce in the snail houses, I checked to see the greenhouse automatically waters. Let's see, we'll check that now, just in case I'm missing the point. So it's the normal greenhouse. They're all the snail breeding ones. They're all running. They all have water because I went around and topped them all up. That's the water distributor. Where is snail breeding, sheep barn? Where's the normal greenhouse? There it is. Large greenhouse, water. Now see, I did go around and top them all up. So I don't know why. Honestly, it wasn't low when I topped it up. But I spent time topping them up, just in case that was the reason they were stopping. But every one I went to had 1,000 litres of water in it, so it wasn't that. I don't know why. I can't understand why it did. Anyway, a lot of work looking after livestock. Doing the grass work, doing the hay, straw, or the hay, baling, shifting straw around, mixing up the TMR. Don't go into that field. That field is sown. There is a guy I follow in Slovenia, a real live farmer on a small dairy farm in the mountains. Absolute fabulous countryside. I love watching him. And he's a small John Deere, and I can't remember what the other tractor is he has. I think it's 2 John Deeres. I'd follow him and I'd be amazed by the work he does on a small dairy farm. And the methods he uses and his work ethics are just, work ethics. He reminds me of me playing this game where I like to do everything 100%. He washes every piece of equipment he uses when he brings it back, and he puts it away, and a bit like me when I'm playing this, I just have a habit of routine. Pull into the yard, wash the seed or wash the tractor, put the seeder away. But I just kind of like the routine of it, and I like the routine of the livestock farm and having to take care of the animals and having to load up the bowser every now and again and go around and make sure they have water at all the paddocks and the whole lot, make sure they have food, taking care of everything. It's an element on this map that I really enjoy. Now, I've done it before, but in a lot of cases I'd used automatic watering pastures, and pastures was held like 100,000 litres of food or 200,000 litres of food, so when you filled them up you didn't have to keep checking on them around. But I like the combination of the meadow and then your hay giving you the 100% productivity. And I'm wondering now in the winter months, because I wasn't really paying attention to it last year because I didn't have I didn't have both the meadow and the hay and the feed troughs to keep an eye on whether the meadow actually ran out, because naturally enough the pens are fuller this time. Some of them are maxed. Well, one of them is anyway, two of them are. And just to see, is that going to make a difference overall to the actual... we got 3 headlands, okay. I like to give myself a bit of room because like when you don't have a big border between the two fields, just give you that little bit of space. Just see, is the food sufficient? Or are we going to lose the 27% we get, or 37%, whatever it is we get for the meadow? Is the meadow going to drop off in the winter with a full pen and that? So we'll keep an eye on it, and just hope you're learning. If you're doing this series and you're following me, I hope you're learning a few things, and thankfully a few people have pointed out a few things to me which have helped me greatly too, that are actually playing on this series as well, or on this map as well. And it's great to just do a map like this where it's not the same as the base game stuff and things are slightly different, so it gets you thinking again just ever so slightly, because I think you kind of fall into a routine on the base game stuff and you don't, it becomes a bit monotonous in the sense that you're not keeping an eye on it the same way you have to when you come on here, and things are different. And there's still a bit to learn. We'll do the grapes eventually, but as I said, there's no hurry on that just yet. I want to construct the house in the village, or the shop in the village. Probably won't, because there's no cement factory on the map or anything like that. If we need cement bricks and bags and roof tiles and that, we'll probably just buy them in the warehouse if they're available and just do it that way. But yeah, we will get around to that as well. But anyway, episode number 18 on Méchet. We're finished for now. We've had a very productive day. I'm looking at my tractor's got 31.6 hours on it already, so you can see that the time has been put in on. I was going to do another headland and we haven't got one. We'll get back around the half one and go down. There you go. We're putting the hours in anyway on it, and I'll always use the other tractor if it's there and send them off doing an L contract to get a few bob in and things like that. But I think with the contracts we're not going to be doing like we were at the start. We were doing like it was 5 or 6 each day in a month. Now we might do 5 in the month, and that's it, just to keep the other tractor busy, might as well. For now, thanks a million for joining me again. If you're still here, appreciate you staying around until the end, and hopefully you enjoy this. And please feel free to leave a comment, drop a like on the way out, and subscribe to follow this series if you haven't already. So until next time, all that's left for me to do for now is to say goodbye until then. Bye bye.